Understanding inverter setting. That is what we have this morning. Understanding inverter setting. This laptop, I don't know what it's on. Understanding inverter setting. So first of all, before we go into understanding of inverter setting, we first of all ask ourselves question: what does an inverter do? What does an inverter do? That's the first question before we go into inverter setting. What does an inverter do? I discovered that most time we install inverter, we don't bother about the setting of that inverter. We install charge controller, we don't bother about the setting of the charge controller. We assume that these things they have been set. It's not true. This is an inverter. Can I get this out of this? This is an inverter. It is very possible that the default setting of this inverter is tubular battery. Now you install this inverter, you just plug and play, then you leave. Now, why are you tearing it? Don't tear it. Just bring it out from the carton. So now, plug and play. In most cases, the inverter, especially the hybrid inverter, you need a lot of setting inside. You don't just install and go. Most people, like yesterday night, I was in Father Charles' place. Even as I think that should be around 8:30 or so, I mean 9, just to reconfigure the setting on this thing because our guys they just put and go. Some of them you see that the charging and this one it will not balance because of setting. I think there is one that the mechanic went to last time again, Abi, to do setting. So please, you pay attention to setting. I think on our post installation checklist, the new one, I will introduce settings. So give us all the settings. We'll list all the settings. Give us the whole value so that you take time to set it. So now that is why it calls for this lecture calls for urgency. So it's very urgent that I quickly address this. Now, before we proceed, I need to know from you guys what is an inverter? What does an inverter do? Next, just be going. Next, next, next. Next. You know it's you now. Next. 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 So nobody have another definition. Next. Okay, let's see electrical engineer now. Yeah. Did you do inverter in school? Did they teach you inverter? All through your year 1 to final year, there is no course. Did you do power engineering? Okay, pure electronics has powers. There's a course they call power. There's a course they call machine device, power engineering. Where did I do the it's a topic inside the course. I will go find out. It's a topic. I know I did inverter in school now. Do you do transformer?
Yes, transformer.
Inside that place there is inverter. Maybe you don't know. Next. Next. Next now.
An electrical device that converts
Next. Electrical, electronics. So which one? Some say it's electrical devices. Some say it's electronics device. So which one is it? Huh? So this, quickly, an inverter converts DC, direct current, from battery or solar panel into AC, alternating current that power your home appliances. See my definition, so sweet. So sweet. An inverter converts DC, direct current, from battery or solar panel into AC, alternating current that power your home, office and whatever. It's not only home o. It's not only home. Are we together? Basic functions of an inverter. Basic functions of an inverter. Now, this basic function of an inverter is narrowed. This definition or this function is narrowed to what we are doing. What we mean by inverter. Number one, charge battery from solar PV or grid or generator. So inverter charges battery. Either it's charging the battery from PV, that is for hybrid inverter, or it's charging it for from your generator or from your grid. When I say grid, I mean NEPA or whatever. Is that clear now? Then an inverter automatically switches between solar battery and grid. It does automatic switching. We are using solar, battery and grid. So an inverter does the switching. An inverter protects battery from overcharging or deep discharge. What is overcharging? When a panel, as in when you are charging, you get to a particular level, it will keep charging, keep charging. A battery that is 48 volts, if you keep putting charges, for instance, there is no inverter there, it will draw panel direct. Now the panel voltage is maybe the panel voltage is 150, our connection. We now draw it to a battery that is 48. It will tend to draw it to 150. You understand? And once it tend to draw it to 150, it charges beyond the normal level. Before you know, it will overcharge the battery. In most cases, the battery will swell up, overcharging. So if you have ever seen an inverter malfunction, if you have ever seen a charge controller malfunction, you will see that it will not overcharge battery. We have a case study, that woman, so you are aware. So now, it's either it damages the battery, or if it is some of these batteries that have protective devices, it shut down the battery and put the battery on protection, like lithium battery. But if it is those normal batteries that don't have protection, it will drag the battery up and at the end of the day cause the battery to swell up and the battery will get damaged. The cells will even cut. When I say deep discharge, if I am discharging a battery, there is a level to which I should discharge the battery to. If I discharge that battery more than that level, it might damage the battery. So what the inverter does is it protects the battery from overcharging. It also protects the battery from deep charging, so that when you are using it, it will get to a point that the system will trip off. What is the minimum voltage for 12 volts battery? Frank, abeg let the pen be down with 15 naira final. Minimum voltage for 12 volts battery. If I want to discharge a 12 volts battery, where should be the least that I should discharge it to? Like, I don't mean lithium, no, tubular battery, 12 volts. The least voltage. Is it 10? Are you sure it says 10 or 9? Next person. Wait, let me be pointing. So, Tom. Huh? Clap for him. 10.5. Collect for him from this guy. So now, if it is 10.5, that means for a 48-volt system, how many should I set my inverter so that the battery will cut off? That, for a 48-volt system that I need to discharge 10.5 each of the battery, how many should I set my inverter so that it will cut off? 46. Collect fine from this guy. This place here. Which one, Junior? Wetin dey? You dey sick? School na your bed. you can use inside there. So now, for a 40-volt, this guy said 46. He failed it. Collect fine from him. Let me look for another person. Let's take our fine. Asikade. Sorry. What is it called? I got scared. For a 4 battery system, 48 volts, how many should I set my inverter? The deep discharge so that cut off. How many volts? The least that I should get to before it cut off. Considering the fact that each of the batteries is 10.5. Expo full. Yeah. If no idea, come on, make we go the next person. You know, don't come out here. Like you want to take over the ministry. You want to take over the ministry now. Let's get another person. Oh yeah, now. Stand up now. 44. Why honor? I need one now. Is this guy correct? 44.5. Oh yeah, let's do this. Sit down. If you get it out. 44, 10.5 times 4. 42. So the minimum cutoff, pata that the thing will get and shut down is 42. But normally at 44, it can start beeping and shut down, depending on. But the least that it shouldn't get beyond should be. If you set tubular battery at 46, before you know, now lithium battery. For 48 volts lithium battery, what is my deep discharge? How many volts should it cut off? Let me see. Emeka, lithium battery, how many volts should I cut it off?
For deep discharge, I think I cut off at 40 volts.
It's a lie. This class will answer this question. Sit down first, so we'll go there, but don't find him. This class will answer this question. Now, I also want to tell you that inverter prioritize source depending on your setup. Look at it. This is an inverter. NEPA comes in. This inverter decided, okay, anytime NEPA come, I will stop using panel. Let me use NEPA, national grid. You understand? This is an inverter. It decides anytime sun come, let me use sun. Let me not use battery. Let me not use let me use sun until maybe if sun goes, I decide on the one to use. This inverter decide, okay, let me be using battery. Maybe when battery is running down, I now decide to select the sun and all those on. The reason this is in place is that I might be living in a house where the bill is too much. I don't expect my inverter to be charging my battery when there is sun. I can now set it and set, okay, sun, when sun come out, let sun be charging. You understand? As long as once battery is full, fine. But if there is no sun again, before you return to the national grid, these are things that we'll look at for today. Then, types of inverter. We have off grids. It works only with solar and battery. Off grids work with solar and battery. No direct grid connection, standalone cabin system. You understand now? Off grid. Grid tied feed power to the grid. No back. Grid tied. Grid tied. Tie. Feeds power to the grid. Now, listen. Do you know that I can generate power and supply to the grid? You understand? There's a project I'm on recently, so it's a master's program. Now, the grid, we are looking at how we can meter back to the national grid. I think I sent to some of you now. Like this, if I'm generating electricity here, and what I'm generating is excess, let me meter back to the national grid. Like, let me give back, and they give me money. If we introduce this in this country, do you know that so many people will now invest? So Pascal, look, let me use Pascal. Pascal, they will soon do solar. God scared that does not have solar in their house, and they depending on national grid. And do you know why you people don't usually have every individual generate from his solar and feed to the grid? We generate. It's the same thing, no. This power that we are using, energy can neither be created or destroyed. This energy that we have here, this one that we have here now, I can give back, I can feed it back to them. It will not top up as a unit for somebody to use. So let's not dwell on that so much. We have a lot of things to handle today. Now, then we also have hybrid inverter, like your own, that is like our own. When I say like yours, I mean like our own. Hybrid inverter. Hybrid inverter combines solar, battery, and grid. You understand? Hybrid inverter does what? Convert solar, battery, and grid. That is why it's called hybrid inverter. Then let's look at the key settings and their meaning. There are some settings. Do you know why I like these people? All these Chinese things, almost all the settings are the same. Once you understand what they mean, almost everything they are the same. So now, let's look at some key settings. Below are the main menu parameter you will find in hybrid inverter. Especially, let's use SMS as a case study. It numbers from 1 to 40 or so. SMS numbers from 1 to 40. Then, number 101, battery type. If I want to set up this inverter, the only thing I need is, you see a button. I'm going to show you. You see a button. Something like enter button here. You see this button that is enter. You will find 3 buttons. Let me see if I can show the. Can I have this volume? Okay, no, this is not the video. Okay.
Step 2. Turn on the one dial of linear battery.
So as I'm talking, you see, you find up to like 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons. This one is the home button. This one is reduce button. This one is increase button, and this one is enter button. So now when you get there, you press enter. You press enter button. So by the time you press enter button, it will now pop out some things for you where you will be able to do your normal setting. So I wanted to show you something, but like it's not coming up. Maybe later in the day. Now, the battery type. By the time I press this one, I hold it. You will see 00. You understand? You use this one to go. If you press this one, it will now go 01. 01 will give you opportunity for you to set what is in 01, depending on, I'm going to look at the terminology one after the other. I'm not going to follow a definite pattern so that you will not get confused when you see another inverter. The only thing you can find yourself to go to the setup, finish. Once you get to the setup, then let's look at this. 01, battery option. We have, what is this battery? What is the meaning of this battery? This lithium battery, gel, AGM, flooded, user defined. Flooded means what? Gel means what? AGM means what? Dry cell. Some dry cell has gel inside. You understand? Some dry cell has gel inside, like that NST power. If you lose inside, it's gel. There are some of them when you lose inside, it's dry substance that you find inside. SMF, those Indian this thing. So now, what are they smart to? Where did I stop, sir? This thing is stressing me. Okay, I'm going to do it in this way. Now, select based on your battery chemistry. Please, make sure you select. Don't go and install this inverter without looking at whether it's lithium or it's tubular. Please. Miracle. Don't go and install this battery. Don't go and install the inverter, the battery, whatever. Maybe you carry inverter and somebody want to change the inverter. Don't just install without setup. The other key, yes.
I don't think the recent development don't set
No, I'm assuming. What if you are talking about SMS?
Yes.
You are talking about SMS. Now, what about that product? You understand that? So just listen. Let's stand up first. Then you must set it. Say if you don't set it on lithium, even when you are using tubular battery, listen now, this guy automatically recognize that it's lithium. Maybe for instance, I carry 48 volts, one bulk command. Immediately you put it, at least it's seen that it's 48 volts as a unit. Now, if it is 1111 connected together, the inverter will see it also separate that 10. You understand now? So now, what is there is this. Let's look at wrong type causes wrong charge voltage and short battery life. When you don't set it up, you are bound to bring out wrong. Everything will be wrong, and before you know, your battery will be short. Now let's look at this word, AC input range. Some of us, if you look at this setting inside SMS, if you finish this class, we'll go back to do a practical this thing. You will see this word APL. You see this word APL/UB. You understand? Now, APL means appliance mode. APL means between 90 volts to 280 volts. You understand? Wide range of voltage. So when you set your inverter on APL, you automatically telling the inverter that be able to carry between low voltage to high voltage. You understand? It's ideal for unstable situation like the way this country are. But if I set it on UB, e narrow the voltage to between 170 to 280. In such case, when the voltage is less than 170, the inverter will not work. I don't know if you understand. So what is the best place to set this inverter now? What is the best place to set the inverter? Eh? Then if you say on UB, give me reason. Huh? If I am using all those appliances that are not sensitive, I can use APL. But if I'm using appliances that are sensitive, I will use UB, which is UPS. Why? 170 to. There are some appliances that, for instance, I have AC in this house. The AC in this house will not operate at 90 volts. Now I set my inverter to be at APL. Now NEPA bring light. If they bring light, e switch to the present voltage because inverter does not step up voltage. It will give you what is coming in. By the time you bring out 90 volts, the AC will not work well. I don't know if you understand. Hello? By the time you give me that 90 volts, the AC will not work. So now, if I really want it to work, since the recommended voltage for that AC is 170, if I set my inverter range at UB, so that immediately like once you switch to that one, you can pick my appliances. So that is why I say ID for stable mens and sensitive electronics. But if you don't still want to use it in that area, and you want, like most of you that goes to an area where they don't have electricity, you are not using all this heavy electricity, set your system on APL. Did you understand now? Now let's look at number 3, output source priority. Some of us have been seeing SNU, SBU, SNEU. This is we don't know the meaning, and we have not bothered to ask. Now, X means solar, B means battery, U means utility. What is utility? Ask Ade, why my spirit dey carry me go where you dey? Utility, what is utility? No idea. Abi? No idea now. 50 pound. What is utility? Huh? Huh? Talk now. No idea. 50 pound. What is utility? Okay. Utility. I no go gree. No. My electricity that I are consuming. No. What is utility? Is it electrical engineering they gave you to study? Your house appliances 50 pound. What is utility? £50. What is utility? In this case, what is utility? £50. What is utility? Hold on, man, I don't generate money this value. Huh? No idea, £50. Bessie, don't worry, I'll not come to you. I'll not come to you. Don't worry. I'll do bonanza for you because I saw you trekking yesterday. Today I will not want you to spend your money. Where was manager? Why were you trekking? Why did she not drop you? Huh? What is utility? Yeah? 50 pound. What is utility? No idea. 50 pound. What is utility? Can you clap for this? You know what? All the 50 naira that you gather now, Give it to this guy. They send you to school. See, listen, oh, solar. Listen, oh, solar, battery. You don't need anybody to tell you that this one means grit. Now, look at this. By the time I set my system to be SBU, the system will tell you, set me to either SBU, set me to UBS, set me to BSU, or SUB. Now, it means solar first, then battery, then utility. What it means is that when the system is working, if there is sun, it automatically start picking charging. The charging current will switch more to sun. Are you hearing? The charging current that you will be using is sun. Immediately sun go, e switch back to battery. Are you hearing me? Now it will not be using battery. Once the battery is down, then e pick back to utility. Utility will now start charging. Did you understand? It picks back to utility. So this thing you are seeing is switching mode. E switch from solar to battery down to grid. So now once the battery is down, e switch to grid. At the process that you are using this one and solar return, day break, sun return, it will not go to this one. It will go back to the priority because the priority is sun. That is why I need my panel so that my electricity bill will reduce. If I am using this, the billing will not be much. I don't know if you understand. Where the billing is not needed, as where you don't want to spend much on your billing, electricity bill, consider this. Look at it. I said recommended for solar system. Now, go to the next one. The next one is SUB. Solar, utility and battery. This one will keep the battery full always. Did you understand? It will keep the battery full always. Now, it goes to solar. Immediately, sun go. It takes utility as priority if there is utility. Then once utility goes, e go to battery. If in between, battery run down, e return back. I don't know if you get it. Now look at this. This one will also consume your prepaid. Okay, it will not consume it more, but it will also consume, especially when the sun goes. Now look at the other one. UTI. Now this reverse the process of this one. This one USB. Change this one to USB. Now look at it. USB considered utility first. I have solar panels everywhere. Okay, maybe I don't have enough panel, all those ones. USB considered national grid first before anything. Unless there is no national grid, that is when it consider the panel. Then it now consider panel before battery. It's ideal for heavy grid users. Heavy grid users. Now, charging priority. You can decide which one charges first. You understand? Charge priority. Solar first. Uses PV to charge battery first. If you choose solar first, then under that charging priority, you might see SU, I mean something SU, either solar or utility. I don't know if you get me. SU. Now, utility first for weak, low sunlight condition. Solar first uses PV to charge this thing. So you look at that setting and set it. In most cases, you also see solar plus utility both charge simultaneously. Inside this setting, you will find where you will see either for you to set solar first. That means when I set it on solar first, it means when sun come, it is the panel that will start charging the battery first. Now, unless the panel goes before you switch to utility. But if I set it on utility first, it means if I have the sun and I have the if I have the utility and I have the sun, then e should collect from utility first. Until when utility is no longer there, that is when you will now think of solar. Then I can decide to charge with the two side. In this case, most time we use this one. So consider your setting on this one so that both of them, when there is sun, when there is this thing, but also ask question about the prepaid, about the meter, but mostly we use this one. Then let's look at number 5 to 7, battery protection parameter. Now, parameter, typical value is 48 volts bank. Function, that we have for 48 volts, then why the other one is 24 volts? So 48 and 24, you can put it the typical value 48 and 24. Now, low cutoff for lithium battery. Listen, very be attentive. Low cutoff for lithium battery that is 48 volts is 48 volts. Hello? Low cutoff for lithium battery that is 48 volts is what? 48 volts. Because your lithium battery could be like 52.5. I mean, how many volts is 10.5 kilowatts? 51.5. 51.5 or so. Now, when you get to 48, the cutoff is not like low cutoff for tubular battery. Each one is 10.5. Hello? Some can use 11, depending on what you set. Some uses 11, which is 44. Now, why? At this level of 48, it stops discharge to protect the battery. At 48, it stops discharge to protect the battery. Now, lithium experience. My inverter is set at 44. The battery is set at what? The battery is 48. The battery now, because it's set at 44, it will not drain this battery up to 44 volts, killing the battery. I don't know if you understand, killing the battery. So please, let's help to protect the battery by setting, when you are using a lithium battery, set the battery voltage as 48, not 44, please. Go back and redo your work. And then Mekemeka don dey flash so many sites when e set 44. Don kill lithium battery. Low DC reconnect 50 volts. Low DC reconnect, like when it went down, then immediately get to 50 volts. You can reconnect back the system. Over voltage 54 to 56. And charging at safe level. Over voltage, set your over voltage, not 56, set it at 56. Hello? Solar and AC charge control. Maximum PV current / input. Set your maximum PV current / input. Equalization enabled. Equalization, when you are using flooded battery, enable equalization. You see where they say EQU. Enable that EQU, don't disable. Most of us doesn't know it. I don't know how long it will take for equalization. If you are using flooded battery, you must enable equalization inside this thing. And you see where they write EQU. Time charge, enable or disable. AC charge, enable or disable. Look at your AC charging, enable it. enable your AC charging. Don't disable it so that you can actually be charging. Maximum charging current. Now look at this. Very important. Very, very important. For my lithium battery, the charging current between 80 to 120. For my tubular battery, between 40 to 60 amps. Did you understand? So that means like times 2 of. I told you that charging current is 10% of the rated amps for tubular. While for lithium is 20% of the rated amps. Now, Father Charles, why is Father Charles appearing in my mind this morning? You install two batteries, 15 kilowatts, 15 kilowatts. The same charging current inside the inverter that you use for 15 kilowatts one, you did not reset the charging current to be higher. I don't know if you get me. Now, automatically, 15 kilowatts battery is like how many amps? 15 kilowatts. 15 kilowatts is how many AH? 300 AH. 10% of 300 is how many? 30. You understand? That means at least I should set that this thing at maybe like 80, or if not more than, so that it can actually charge more. So the minimum that I need is 60 for the two. But let me set it at, I can even set it at 120 so that I can charge. Hello? For tubular 50 to 100 amps. Now, load and output setting. In Nigeria, our frequency is 50 Hz. Maintain the 50 Hz on the frequency. So whatever you are setting, use 50 Hz. Then the output voltage is 230. So put the output voltage at 230. Enable overload / short circuit protection. Then fan and temperature control. Then 19 to 22, we talk about communication and Wi-Fi. You understand? Now, ROS 45, USB for monitoring app. Show data log, PV input, load, battery percentage. Then we also have buzzer alarm and display. You can disable the buzzer alarm, like if you don't want the thing to be making ping ping ping, either you on or you off. Display timer, how long the screen stays before it go off. You can also decide it. The language is only 2 countries. Only 2 language. Yeah, and then if you are in that place, you can see German and the rest. So the system info, you also have where you can find where inverter temperature, PV total, and the rest of that. Now let's look at practical setup. Practical setup example. Let's use lithium battery. Parameter recommended. Battery type undefined. So on that battery type, O1, you set it as lithium. You understand? O2, APL, if generator or UB, if stable grid. If you are in a place where the electricity is stable, you can use UB. But if the electricity is not stable, use APL. In most cases, the electricity is not stable. So please change it to APL. Then O3, I set my O3 as S nubi. So if you look at this thing now, you will just be seeing O3, S nubi, S this one, S this one. You will be confused, like what do they mean by? I believe by now we are getting used to the meaning. You understand? So S nubi means SBU means what? SBU means what? Another 50 naira download. SBU means what? Huh? Clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. SB, collect 50K now. SB, you mean what? Can you take this guy back to level 0? SB means what? No idea. This guy dey here. Ah. Victor, you dey see your boys? Okay, no, not be Victor. Okay, I see your boy. Okay, well, can you see him? I no go ask you. I know that you know it. SB means what? Shame them. Shame them. Clap for her. Hmm? Clap for her. Shame them. Shame on them. Shame on the fit guys. Eh? Hmm? So set it on SBU. Please don't set it on UBN. Prioritize your solar because since at least so that you can save your Abi. And you want to set it on anything you want to set it, you set it. Depending on the function. Then charge source priority. Charge source priority is what? Solar first. Low disconnect 48. Low disconnect reconnect. Low DC reconnect 50. So when the thing get to 48, it shut down. Then by the time it start charging, when it get to 50, it reconnect back. Float voltage 54. Bulk / as of 56. Are we together? The reason why some of the battery will now remain on 90% is because there is no bulk voltage set. Some of them, go back and check, some of them, the bulk voltage is 54. You understand? Because of that, it will not enter 100%. It's not as if it's not charged. You know, it flow into that 100% when it's operating on that bulk voltage. The maximum charge current 100. Hello? Set it. Maximum charge current. Booster on. Output frequency 56. All right. 50 Hz, sorry. Then I move. Important operation note. Look at this. Always set current battery type before connecting BMS cable. Do not mix different battery. Do not mix different battery. Now look at another one again that I'm saying. APL mode help if your generator voltage sometimes drop below 170. Hello? Go back and set this thing so that we'll stop having issue on site. So what you do is any site you go to, whether you go to fee, enter the setting. From there we will collect them over time. UV mode protects laptops, TV, and sensitive devices. Some devices cannot operate under this thing. You understand? So, but in this case, mostly, ABF favor for those in all those areas. You see that this inverter is loaded with functions. Never set charging current higher than batteries rated. Never set. Go and check the battery data sheet. Good. Can I have, if I have a battery manual, I will see the charging current specified for that battery. I don't know if you understand. Pick up a manual. Some of us doesn't read. Can somebody, if you finish the manual of a battery, I swear you'll be so good in now. If you finish manual of this inverter, if you finish the manual, I need a manager to scan the manual and base it on the system. Manual of battery and manual this thing. So let everybody read. Now, this battery has a data sheet. Inside that data sheet, you see where they say Maximum charging current 60 amps. Go and check, you see it. Maximum charging current 60 amps. Maximum charging current 100 amps. Maximum charging current, and so on. So set according to the charging current. What did I say? Set according to the charging current. Don't go and set with recommendation on what they want. So please, we'll study the data sheet. So when you are going to site, it is expected that the managers they will have to give you all the recommended settings. I think that should be the assignment. The supervisor, when you are going to site, bring out all the settings for that this thing and give to your guys. They will know it. The battery setting now like this. This is. So we are going to bring out a data sheet that we mark each of these settings. So I have time today, so work around it. Now look at this. See my formula. Charging current A equal to battery AH times 0.1. You heard me say something before. Convert the battery, convert the kilowatts to AH. What is the charging current for 200 amps battery? 20 amps. You set it on 20 amps. Maximum charging current. The battery will not take more than, when you supply 30 amps to that battery, it will affect the battery. It's just that sometimes this system automatically adjusts. It takes the distance, but it's important that we follow the setting. So please don't forget this formula. Charging current is equal to battery AH times 0.1. That is 10% of the battery AH. Hello. Example. For a 48 volts 500 amps battery, the charging current is 50 amps. What is the charging current for 10 kilowatts battery? Clap for yourself. By the time they connect the battery into 40 amps. So Valata's battery should be how many amps?